All ready? There we go. Okay. Welcome, Facebook world, YouTube world. It's another fabulous show. Fathers and Finances. I am your host, Trevor Evans, along with Mr. Isaac Crumpton. What's up, Isaac?
What's up, brother? How's it going, man?
Going good. We got Patrick Black Tie Gray. What's up, Patrick?
Hey, how you doing, Trevor? I'm glad to be on here today with y'all.
I know, right? And then we got Marcus is once again 5 minutes late, but it's okay. He'll jump on when he get here. Okay. Now, Patrick, was you on an extra long Valentine's date?
Actually, I was.
Oh, you
was?
Okay, there you go.
Actually, I was.
That's all I need to know. That's all I need to know. So, first of all, how was y'all weekend? Did any of y'all celebrate Easter? You know, all that resurrection, all that kind of stuff.
Well, bro, you know,
I know. Tanisha probably did. You know.
Well, bro, you know, I'm a Muslim, man. I don't have any problem with the resurrection of Jesus. I just got a problem with Easter and some of the other things that go along with it. You know, some of the pagan rituals associated with Easter. But as far as Jesus is concerned, I have no issues there whatsoever. I just didn't celebrate in the paganism that's associated with his resurrection.
So it's a yes and a no then, right?
No, I didn't do a thing. I mean, literally, I sat at home and chilled out with my wife and didn't do nothing.
Hey, I didn't do a thing either. I didn't. Matter of fact, I forgot it was Easter. Okay, come what you want. I give it down. But you know, yeah. So it is what it is. Patrick, what'd you do?
I really just took my daughter up to see some monuments. Let her see the history she comes from. I didn't really celebrate. Huh?
Dead people?
No, not dead. Some of them dead. I mean, some of them dead, but you know what I mean? They left behind some things.
Okay.
Left behind some
knowledge. Those monuments, not gravestone monuments. Okay, my bad.
My bad. No. But I did that. I wouldn't say we didn't do no Easter egg hunting or nothing like that. But I mean,
you know,
I didn't really want to, like Isaac said, I didn't want to go into that.
When did y'all stop doing that Easter egg hunting? I mean, I can't remember when I did the last one. I did one of them.
Easter egg hunt stuff. I mean, I did as a child. I didn't do once I started studying religion for myself, man. I mean, I can't remember. Maybe 18 is 19 when I stopped celebrating Easter.
I think for me it's like way before that, man. It's one of those pagan things, you know what I'm saying? They go hunt for some eggs and color them up. Right? All right. Yeah, so this week's topic gonna be lit again. We're back on part 2 of Operation Unity, and the part 1 was a very, very lively conversation. I loved it. I got a lot of feedback from that, positive feedback too, because people are definitely open and not open, but they're wanting us to come together and wanting us to find ways to come together and wanting us to deliver the message and deliver it hard and deliver it factual. So last week's show got a lot of attention because of the nature of the topic, and it goes to show you that is a topic that people do care about, you know, and that's, you know, that people care about our future and the future of our, not just our legacy per se individual, but as our future as a race and a culture. Because if we are going to last long, you know, as we have been, we've got to have opportunities to come together for a great cause. And I do believe that the cause of financial literacy and financial education is a great cause. So we're going to start back on with part 2 with that. And Mr. Isaac, I'll let you take it from here.
Thank you, big brother. So one of the things that obviously part of, we knew that we couldn't do justice last week by trying to cram all of that into 1 hour. We absolutely positively knew that this was going to have to be a 2-session, maybe possibly 3, I don't know, session type of show when you start dealing with Black economics. And one of the things we started talking about, of course, is when you want to become an independent people, you got to start thinking about owning land. Well, owning land sounds good. It's nice. It sounds, you know, woo. I mean, yeah, we need to get some land, but how do we get the land? How do we afford to try to get the land? So let me just do a quick recap. So one of the things we talked about last week, there's 7 things that we as Black people should absolutely positively own. We should own our own land.
Mm-hmm.
Very simple. And that's what we're going to discuss. We should own our own schools. We brought up briefly about, I think the young boy's name is King. I can't remember, the 19-year-old brother that challenged Roland Martin and set up his own school down there. They asked him what he was doing, why he didn't feel like you should vote or whatever. And he said, I'm not stopping anybody from voting, but I'm tired of waiting on people to do something for me in my neighborhood. So I set out and did something on my own. So he started his own school and is in the process of starting his own academy. He and his friends pooled their resources together, picked up buses, got certified, the whole nine. So number 2 is we should own schools. Number 3, we absolutely positively should own our own grocery stores. We've heard about these food deserts, of course, in our communities. And some of the reasons why we can't get some of the things we need is because we are unhealthy. You know, I went to the Walmarts out here in Atlanta. They sell certain types of food. But when I drove home, I never forget, I stopped at a Walmart. I was getting gas or whatever, and we stopped in to get some snacks near my hometown in Fort Valley, Georgia. We actually stopped in Forsyth, and they were selling hog maws, lard, and chitlins in the Walmart in Forsyth, Georgia. And I hadn't seen that since I was a boy, and I saw it at Piggly Wiggly.
So Isaac, why is it important to own our own grocery store?
Well, when we own our own grocery stores, we guarantee that, number one, we can use our own farmers, and there are plenty of Black farmers, and we can control what we are being fed. We can examine it. Is it GMO? Is it not? We get a chance to examine what it is that we are putting into our bodies. And all truthfulness, we really don't know what we're putting in our bodies. And you know, I ask everybody on this call to do this. Go to the Publix or the Kroger and the Black community that's predominantly Black, and then you drive to a white community and examine the products. You won't see the same products, period. I've done this a million times and try to highlight it. You will not see the same. Some stuff you'll see. You're going to see Fruit Loops and stuff like that. But when you start getting...
I'm from in Florida, you ain't going to see Publix in the Black area.
You don't? Okay, there we go.
Yeah, you in Florida, dog. It's different down here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You should own our own beauty supply stores. This, to me, should be just self-evident, but 95% of Black beauty stores are owned by Asians.
That should make y'all feel bad.
Right. Listen, what if Black people own 95% of fortune cookies? I mean, they just wouldn't let that happen. I mean, that would not happen. So when that should just, when you get your hair, you get your beauty products, you get them from Asians. You should be an owner in your own family investment LLC or corporation. You absolutely, positively should own that. You should own stock and life insurance. And you should absolutely, positively own your own labor. Even if you desire to be employed, create some extra stream of income. If you're like, man, I can't, I really don't think I could be my own prime example. I have a family member that can sew a beautiful, beautiful scarf and what you call it, scully or wool, whatever you want to have, a hat. She can do that in about 3 or 4 hours. Completely done. Down there in Orlando with you, brother, she can get that done in 3 or 4 hours. Now, she doesn't desire to own her own business, but we had her make 4 or 5 of those for us, and we paid them for it. Now, all she's got to do is make a few of those. I mean, people would buy. So even if you want to work for somebody else, just have a little something so you can set aside so that, and you can use that money to put in other things like your life insurance policy, your investments or whatever. You could be doing something on the side to try to help yourself. So the thing that we decided we wanted to talk about last week and this week was trying to own some land, because your grocery store got to be on your land. Your beauty supply store got to be on your land. So if you're going to farm and have all of that, your grocery, everything's got to be on your own land.
I'm sorry. I gotta say this, man. We are great at being consumers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Why are Black people so damn distracted and so easily distracted? Can someone please answer me that question? You know, why are we so distracted from you know, it's not like we don't know these facts. I mean, it just dawned on me when you said that what 80%, 9% of all the beauty stores owned by Asian, that just dropped him on like a ton of bricks. I mean, that should make us feel damn ashamed.
Yep.
Because what you're saying to me is that pretty much we keeping them in business.
We are. And listen, you know, we are the, for lack of a better word, mammary gland for every other community on the face of the planet. Every community, Indians, Asians, Arabs, everybody comes to the Black community and they set up shop there because we have no unity. But you can't go to the Indian store.
Shit.
Right. You can't buy, Indians are not going to buy, you can't set up a curry store or whatever it is that they use in their food. I mean, you can't set up an Indian grocery store and expect Indians to come and support you once they find out you're Black. You can't go down to a predominantly Chinese portion or Asian portion of an area and think that they're going to support you, trying to, you know, they find out you Black. But us, the moment somebody comes into our community, we're going there. And then we will purposely pass by Black community, Black businesses that are doing something.
And I don't want to hear. I'm tired. I will slap somebody in the face if they come to me talking about why y'all talking about Black people. Because most of us suck. I'm keeping it real. Most of us sucks. Okay? Because and y'all want to feel bad because I say that shit? It's true. Change it then. Do something different then. You know, shop Black. You know, do support the Black community. I don't give a damn if it's the cheapest material, cheapest hair. You put it in one time, the shit fall out next day. I don't care. Okay, but you support the Black business. Okay, but when you don't, all right. If you're tired of my mouth, change it. Do something different.
But listen, one of the things how does that look to y'all? I think that's my right shoulder to y'all. That chocolatey goodness above my right shoulder right there. She believes that if you're going to open up a business, you need to be the best that you absolutely can be. So when you open up a Black business, it absolutely positively must be the best that it can be. You shouldn't open up nothing crappy. You should give great customer service. You should be trying to dispute and destroy every single stereotype that there is out there about Black business. I know your wife does it with her business. We were actually talking about it, as a matter of fact, the excellent counseling that your wife gives. And then when people find out that she hasn't graduated from college and she's counseling PhDs.
No, tell the truth now. She not only did she not graduate college, she didn't graduate high school.
My bad, my fault. I left all of that out.
And she mentors and coaches women that have masters and PhDs in business.
There we go. So when you start looking at that, brother, I mean, that's a level of excellence that we've got to have. So what we wanted to do, we're going to briefly, I know we always cover this, but the reason we're doing it in this standpoint, and we're going to do it real quick, is we kind of want to discuss what the best option is, and then when we hit obstacles, what we can do to overcome those obstacles. So of course, one of the better options we feel is the IUL. So Tanisha, if you've got that set up for us, we're going to show the IUL. This is for an 18-year-old, I believe, I think it's setting aside $300. Yeah, $300 a month, trying to save $300 a month. Now, I kind of want to scroll down. By the time that gentleman, at 28, go back to 28. By the time that person is 28, he's got cash value of $23,000. Now he's put in a little bit more than that. So I just want you to notate that there. But by the time he gets to 48, he's put in $108,000, but you've got $225,000 in cash value. $225,000. By the time he turns to 65, if you scroll down there to the very bottom, by the time he's 65, he's got he's put in a total of $169,000. That's the most. He's never putting in any more after that. I don't know when she stopped it. I guess she stopped.
That's how much a Black person spend on Jordan by the time they're 18.
Exactly.
170.
So I stopped it at 65.
You stopped it at 65. Okay.
Stop premiums at 65.
Now look, that person has $744,000. Now we did $300 because we were like an 18-year-old can put $300 away if they're working and what have you. But realistically speaking, as this 18-year-old gets older, he's going to put aside more money than the $300. He's going to put aside $500, $600. So that's just going to grow. We just put out, hey, if he's starting out working, can put aside 300. Like if he's at his mom's house for a little while, he's starting out with 300, gets himself on his feet. Eventually, he starts putting more and more money in. But if he just stays at 300, he's got $744,000 by the time he turns 65, with a combined death benefit of $1,509,000, which is all accessible to him tax-free. Meaning, so as an example, if you've got 1.5 million in a 401k, you're not getting 1.5 million. You're getting what is that? You're getting at least 40% of that taxed, and then you're going to pay the tax for the penalty of the company that's taking it out.
Right.
So you're going to be under $1 million, probably closer to $800,000 and $900,000 by the time you get your 401k money. But this money is available to you tax-free, that you can turn on a drip. So before we move on, Trevor, did you have anything that you wanted to comment on as far as this was concerned? Or?
I mean, it's nothing else I need to say, because I mean, if these numbers right here don't motivate you to do something, I sure as hell can't, because when you look at yourself and your finances, you are putting $300 away. There's $300 somewhere that you can't find, okay, in your budget, and that means that you're spending $300 that you don't need to be spending. So at that number there, if you can't afford that, can you afford half of that? Okay, if you can't afford $150 a month, all right, and you are in your 20s, okay, do me a favor, just go up to your bedroom, spread out some damn plastic, okay, go in a drawer, take out the damn 9mm and just kill yourself, because you are a waste of fucking space. Really.
Don't do that. Do not do that at all. Just keep listening to Fathers and Finances, and we are going to help you and get you on the right track. Please do not shoot yourself in the head.
Do not do that.
Do not do that. We're going to help you out. Trevor's just joking.
Give somebody the money, you ain't doing nothing with it.
So don't hurt yourself. So anyway,
kill it.
Tanisha, we want to thank you for that. So the next thing we want to talk about here real quick is, you say, well, Isaac, oh, that sounds good, man, but how can I get it? Well, you got to be healthy. Well, Isaac, I'm not healthy. So I'm going to kind of talk about briefly, real quick, even though this doesn't have anything to do with finances. I want to talk about our health. Forgive me if y'all will give me 3 minutes, 2 minutes to talk about our health. Black people, we're in the middle of a pandemic. We are adversely affected by this said pandemic. Our diet is killing us outside of the pandemic. The pandemic, you know what the number one, what was declared a pandemic months before the coronavirus? Diabetes. 5 to 6 months before the coronavirus was declared one, diabetes was declared a pandemic across the world. And that is something that can be taken care of with diet and proper health, type 2 at least. Type 1, which the insulin, jury's still out, but the people have reversed their diabetes simply by eating right. Quit eating fast food. Quit eating things that you know are killing you. Hey, I gotta die something. What type of sense does that make? That's dumb as I don't know what. Yeah, you gotta die something, but why help it? Do you or do you not love your children? Do you want one of the most painful things for me to see as a child was to see my elder relatives who smoked die of cancer. It was not fun as a child. My last memories are of somebody that told me when they were younger, hey, Isaac, you gotta die something, man. I'll let this cigarette kill me. I don't like thinking about my Aunt Mary Frances on oxygen, very frail. I don't like that. Do you want your children to view you like that? To see the last thing that they see of you weighing, you used to weigh 200 pounds, now you weigh 90 because you done wasted away. Is that something that you want your family to see? So try to think about this. The healthier you are, the more you're able to live life. The quality of your life is better. Men, I was told that I wouldn't be able to enjoy certain activities with my wife as I got older, in particular, once I hit 40. They told me I would need certain aids to go jumping rope with my wife, all right? For those that got children on here. So I want you to know I'm 51, never had to use any extra, I didn't need a spotter. Let me say that. When I'm lifting weights, I don't need a spotter. I eat very healthy.
From the gas station.
I get good gas from the gas station. I eat all the type of stuff that keeps my blood vessels clean. My wife wishes that I would probably eat some fried chicken from time to time, but it's not gonna happen.
In the grocery store, I've never like,
it's not gonna happen. I'm not eating fried chicken at times. So
and a Rhino 17, bro.
Right. Listen. So what I'm telling you is this.
That Rhino 17, that Rhino 24.
Right. What I'm telling you is this. Outside of insurance, there are other things for us to do to focus on with our diet. And if one thing is, we can't even get proper protection for our families because we can't put a cheeseburger out our mouth.
If you are an African American and you're going to the damn gas station and you buy a Rhino, come on now, turn your black card, turn it in.
You're doing more damage.
Turn it in.
Listen, take care of yourself, and listen. It shouldn't be. If you're sitting here looking, how do you feel right now? If we're talking about, man, if I could put $1,000 in this IUL, but I'm 60 pounds overweight, got diabetes and high blood pressure. I can't do that. How you feel right now? Because that's something that's reversible. That's something that you could do. So what I'm encouraging you to do, look at your loved ones, get you a picture like I got behind me, and get on your health kick and start changing your life. It can be done. I had back surgery, didn't work out for over a year. Went to the doctor. The doctor was like, man, you are 45 pounds overweight. I lost 35 pounds in 3 months. So after my back surgery, recuperated for a year, lost it. Find your motivation to do it. Now, we went on, I'm sorry. Now, if you're not healthy, but you still want to use that money right now, there are a couple of options for you to take advantage of. And one of them is the Roth IRA. So I'm gonna let Trevor handle that part of it as far as how, I'm sorry, Patrick, please forgive me, brothers. Charge it to the head, not to the heart. I get passionate about eating right, bro. You know, I know I'm 51, only look 49, but still I get passionate about eating right. You know what I'm saying? So Marcus, Patrick, I kind of skipped. I'm sorry. What did y'all? I know y'all had something that y'all wanted to mention about that.
Oh no, I didn't. I didn't have to take care of your bodies and your health. Everybody, not just the men, the women too.
Exactly.
You know what I mean, just take care of yourself. Try your best to eat right. You know what I mean. Get active. Physical. A little cardio here. But definitely, health is important for sure.
Indeed. What was it, Patrick? I know you said you had some stuff earlier.
Yes, most definitely. I have some stuff. I apologize for getting late. Can y'all hear me? Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, brother.
Good? You can hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, so health is wealth. Everybody knows that. If you don't pay for it, if you don't pay for the price and you don't feel that burn in the gym right now, if you don't feel it right now, you're gonna feel it later. My grandma's on the oxygen right now, and I have to look at her in that state, whereas though she has to have oxygen pumped into her so that she can breathe good. And myself, you have to look at what's came before you to decide if you want to change that thing or if you want to keep walking the same path. When we mentioned the IUL, understand that that is the long game. You playing the long game. That's saving for your future. What you're doing right now is all up to you, and how you decide to get there is up to you. You can make you $1 million in 2 days if you have a good plan and you plan that plan out and work that plan and have a mission on that plan. But what we're talking about is the long game and how we're going to be able to shorten that game up. For anybody that's on here today, I appreciate y'all for being on. I'm learning every day when I get on here with these gentlemen, Trevor Evans and Isaac Crumley. I appreciate y'all for y'all knowledge. So I wanted to get into something else, but I want to go ahead and let the show go on, and then I'm gonna jump in. Y'all know me.
All right, brother.
That's cool. That's cool. Well, first of all,
go ahead, Pat.
IRAs, right? How many IRAs are there? There's actually 7 IRAs, right? 7 types of IRAs, okay? Right? If you don't know, an IRA is a great plan, okay? If you don't do anything at all, all right? Because of the tax advantages of it, okay? But it's still not better than the IUL, all right? Now, there are 7 there are 7 IRA types, okay? The most common one is a traditional IRA, okay? That's a traditional IRA where you contribute to it and you save, and then you pull it out at a certain age, you boom, good to go. The next one is called a Roth IRA, It's probably the better of all the IRAs, especially if it's a Roth IRA that is self-directed, okay? And then we have a SEP IRA. That is the SEP stands for, so I can remember, Simplified Employee Pension. Okay, so it takes the place of all pension plan, but it's a IRA that is used in the form of a pension for those that may have their own business or have an employer that offers that. And then another IRA is called a non-deductible IRA, and those have to do with the contributions. Okay, as far as why they're non-deductible. And another one is called a spousal IRA. And you will see those IRAs typically if both spouses work in the house, okay? And let's say one spouse doesn't make as much money as the other spouse, you can offset the taxable income that you are making as the lesser spouse by contributing that income into a spousal IRA. So you can basically keep more of the little money that you are making. Another one is called a simple IRA. A simple IRA kind of falls in line with the traditional IRA. I don't know why they have two, a simple and a traditional, but a simple one is more. You'll find those where if you work for someone, you have an IRA that you contribute to, and they match it, okay, like they would your 401k. That's probably what a simple IRA is. Okay, it's usually matched by your employer. And then the best one out of all of them is called a self-directed IRA. And so the best one, in my opinion, okay, is a self-directed Roth IRA, because it gives you not only the tax benefits of the Roth IRA, but it also gives you control of what you're investing in. Because most of these IRAs, all of them, you cannot direct where the money is going. You cannot direct what it's investing in, all right? So if you want to invest in real estate, you can't do that with any other IRA. If you want to invest it in stocks or any other vehicle, you can't do that with a regular IRA, but you can do that in a self-directed IRA, because you can tell where the money, you can tell the money where you want it to go. But if you want to do that, you have to have an intermediary do that for you, because you as an individual, you cannot have any not direction, but you can't be part of the investment. Okay, all right. So intermediary has to be used. So you can't actually say, okay, I'm going to say go invest here. No, your intermediary has to do that, but you have control still.
That intermediary is a Series 6, Series 7 license holder.
Yes, because this is securities, okay?
Right.
So, and that's also another reason why you can't do it, because you are actually investing. Think of a self-directed IRA as one of those people on Wall Street that you see, with the phone up their ear, and they say, hey, buy 6, buy 7, that's what you're doing with your IRA self-directed. So if you're not licensed, you can't do that.
Now, that is available for you at age 59 and a half. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So again, this is another long game type strategy, and there are no health repercussions necessarily that you will suffer from. You just simply, that's a securities. They're not looking at your health,
Right.
and that's something that you can absolutely positively
and here's
enroll
the
in.
thing about that, Isaac. If you own your own company, okay, you could set up your own IRA, okay, and you can make your employees, right, contribute to that IRA, right, the same way that your employer makes you contribute to theirs, right? So you can contribute to your own or create your own IRA and have your employees, your family, okay, contribute to it, right? And as long as you don't create a taxable event, okay, you will not be, so you can literally grow an IRA, a Roth IRA, without ever being taxed, all right, by simply investing it in a vehicle that does not create a taxable event. And what's the only vehicle, okay, that does not create a taxable event, but gives you a 35% return on your money? And that is called investing in tax liens and tax deeds. So if you're going to invest if you're going to have a Roth IRA, right, and you want to maximize that Roth IRA, you can open one up and take every dime out of that IRA, go to Texas, where Texas pays you 28% minimum, okay, on your money, all right, guaranteed, okay. You can take that money, right, invest it, take that money out of your IRA, go and buy someone's tax lien, right, make 30% on that money and put it back into your IRA, okay? That's going at 4%, all right? But imagine if you did that every 4 times a year, okay? You take 5 grand, 10 grand, and you're earning 30% 4 times a year, right? And it's growing tax-free because of why? You did not create a taxable event, because a taxable event is created when you buy something, okay? When you're investing in tax liens and tax deeds, you're not buying anything, you're paying something. You're paying someone's taxes, okay? So you can earn the interest on that because it isn't a taxable event. And that's what the wealthy do. They don't go buy real estate in their IRA, okay, or their Roth. Why? Because in order to liquidate the money, to see the money, what must they do? Sell the house. When you sell the house, what do you create?
Taxable event.
A taxable event. So you don't buy shit with an IRA, okay? You pay for shit with an IRA.
Knowledge, as they said in I can't remember the name of the movie. It was Kenny and Ivory Wayans movie where they screamed out message. I think it was "Don't drink your juice."
Don't
in the
be
hood.
minutes to South Central. I'll drink your juice in the hood.
Yeah.
And all of
Message.
that, eyes off the dome, bruh, off the dome.
Off the dome, player, off the dome. Message. It's crazy. So
what's the key there? You don't buy things with an IRA. You do what?
Pay things.
Pay for things.
You want to pay for things.
Why
bro.
is that?
So that you do not create a taxable event, and that
Excellent.
and you can earn the interest without having to pay those taxes.
Excellent, Isaac. Excellent. That's done.
So we literally have to. I mean, I just want everybody to understand what is being said right now. I mean, these are gems that are just being dropped right now that you aren't hearing anywhere else. You know, people don't want to talk straight words to each other. So, you know, Trevor, you know, like I got a little hyped up about the food or what have you. I've always been hyped up about eating right and trying to take care of yourself. And Trevor got hyped up, of course, right then about this money. But the thing of the matter is, we get tired of seeing our people unhealthy and poor, and we want that to change. And so I don't know if what he just said literally was gold. Don't go buy anything with the IRA. Go and pay something, because it will not create a taxable event. And when you earn the 30%, it's your 30.
Yes.
Do you think E.F. Hutton is doing that to whoever is? I don't even know if they exist anymore. I hadn't heard a commercial from them, in a while, but who else is talking that, man? We are trying to get this information out to our people. Bottom line, and I don't care who knows. Listen, the Asians have pushed us out of our own hair care industry, and they didn't make I'm talking about any bones about pushing us out. And the story behind that, really, all of you should go take a look at how that happened. It was really us being greedy and lazy.
And Isaac, and just so you know, okay, I own a business, right, in Florida.
Right.
I have to legally say I don't know how it is in your state, other states, but I'm pretty sure it's all the same, okay? But if you own a business in Florida, all right, whether it's retail or whatever, okay, and you service a consumer, okay, do you know that if you were to hold not only a license to own a business, operate a business, okay, a business license, but if you own a wholesale license, do you know the benefit of owning a wholesale license?
Well, we have one simply because we own a restaurant. So outside of being able to get a whole bunch of stuff at bulk,
okay,
and being able to resell it at a higher price.
Investigate your state, okay? Just that. But in Florida, if you hold a wholesale license and you have a retail store or a restaurant or some type, you are exempt from paying taxes on your earnings.
Bruh, that ain't Georgia.
Okay, so in Florida, that's how it is. All right, okay. So and I learned that the hard way because I kept wondering when I would go on and pay my taxes. Okay, they literally said, "Do you remember how much you sold this month?" I'm like, "Do I remember?" I'm like, maybe X amount. I'm like, "What the hell is that? What do I remember?" And then I had to look into the rules, and the rules say, "Oh my gosh, if you hold a wholesale license, okay, you are exempt from paying taxes on your earnings." So
Florida's crazy, but I like that.
Look at it. May be the same. Wow. I don't know, but look it up.
Florida is crazy, but I love that law right there, bro.
Look it up.
I love that. Shoot, you talk about something crazy. Well, the next thing that we're going to talk about, I want to kind of segue into that by talking about these Asians and how they took over the hair care industry. But this is for, I'm going to us. So they came here, they pooled their resources together, and they started buying up individual shops at a little bit at a time. And then a few of those individual shops formed a large corporation to start buying distributorships. So they started buying whole lines of products to eventually, where I went, one of my insurance clients went into, he's an African gentleman who owned the store. He went in and he said, "I want to show you the book I order my products from." So I went behind the counter with him, sat down. He showed me the book. There was not a word in English.
Wow.
It was nothing but beautiful Black models and their hair and the products and whatever. The thing that you could order was numbers, the quantity. So you could order boom, boom in this quantity, but the descriptions were all Chinese and Asian. That, I want you to think about that for 1 second. Everybody basically that services Black people and their hair are pretty much Asian if you can write a book, an ordering book. And he had several laid out where it's entirely either in Korean or Chinese. They didn't even bother to write it in English.
Yeah.
How insane is that?
That's an insult.
That's an insult. So this is a segue into what one of my former agents that used to work for me used to do. She's an African woman. And I used to, when I worked for Combine as a manager for Combine, we used to have to do these ride-alongs for our agents. And she had all of her friends that she wanted to stop by and see. And every single one of her friends owned a business. And I just thought that was odd. I'm like, I can count 10 friends and, not all of them own businesses. You know what I'm saying? How does every friend that you have own a successful business and they've been owning it for a while? So I checked. I said, well, listen, what do y'all do? What is it? She says, well, and then I went to her neighborhood. I picked her up one day for the ride along and went to her neighborhood. The average home in her neighborhood cost $285,000. And it was filled with Africans and Jamaicans in Snellville, Georgia. So I was like, wow, what did y'all do? Is everybody entrepreneurs? She said, pretty much. She said, what we did was we came over, and let's say there were 10 families, and those 10 families gave $1,000 into a pot for 3 months, okay? So that's $10,000 for those 10 families. Over 3 months, that's $30,000. Those 10 families are all, they pick straws. So we all knew over a period of time, we were all going to receive $30,000 to start a business. Then everybody in that community supports that one business for whatever it is. And then the next person receives 30. So if Johnny opens up a mechanic shop, every person in that neighborhood goes to his mechanic shop. Every person goes to that grocery store. Every person goes to that hair store. Every person goes to that dry cleaners. And so they were able to create a self-sustaining community in Snellville where it was nothing but Jamaicans and Africans working there, and they were all entrepreneurs. And I was like, first of all, I was very happy to see these Black people living like this. And I was like, I understood why Africans and other people, Haitians and Jamaicans, have disdain for us that were born and raised here in America. We have all of this opportunity, all of this money, all of these resources, and we are buying rims, and we spend a ton of our money on, listen, whatever you do in your personal life is one thing, but when you live to get high and drunk over the weekend, I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, we spend our money on vices, we spend our money on frivolous stuff that does not take care of us. And, we ignore people like Delitha McRae, whose clients didn't even they weren't stressed at all during the pandemic. Not one bit, because Delitha had taken care of them. But that's not the majority of our people. The majority of our people are living paycheck to paycheck. And something like this, whether it's our group or some other group that's talking about financial literacy and financial education, they don't want to pay attention to.
It just shows you, Isaac, how different parts of the world raise children, and they think completely differently. Because I travel the world, and when I travel the world, I always say, if you love America and you're all about America, don't leave this country, because you don't want to know what's being said about America in other countries, okay? Because it's embarrassing how they call us lazy and entitled and all that kind of stuff, and you see it in the behavior, because you can't explain how someone can come here, okay? Come here, and in 2 years, I have a client right now, lives in Virginia. He drove me back home. I went to go see him last weekend. He drove me back home back to Atlanta last weekend. His name was Henry, 33 years old. Okay, been here 5 years. All right, barely speaks the language, right, and has already created a multi-million-dollar business. Okay, in construction. All right. So people come here and can't speak our language, don't even understand our writing, don't know anything, and they come here, and within 2 years, they lap someone that's been here their whole life. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing.
It is, bro.
It is.
The work ethic and the dedication that person's family put in them, because to come to a different country and not know anything about the country, and then to make it like that's a testament to them, yes, but it's an embarrassment to us that live here. Because
and the thing about it, Trevor, you said this brother's 33, so obviously he came here at 28. So from the age of 28 to 33, he created a multi-million-dollar company.
Yeah.
And we're brilliant. We are brilliant.
Yes, we are.
But we are lazy. So the juice bar just had a situation where we got scammed on some credit cards.
Really?
By a brother. And the brother scammed us, and we ended up having to change how we do things because of the scam.
And that's what I messed up by it too, man.
But it's, listen, the thing about it was, it's intricate. These people use their minds to be lazy and steal from other people. Like it wasn't like I just stole some credit cards. It was an intricate way that they stole cards, of how they were able to do it. In other words, it took some skills, some education, and some training. What if you use that to do something and earn? Could you be a millionaire? Now, this brother's in jail now. So was it even worth it for the little bit of time that you did? Now you in jail, facing years over some stuff. What, maybe, let's say you got $20,000.
And he calling you a hater.
Right, now he's gonna be having somebody chasing him from behind for the next 4 or 5 years. Was that $20,000 worth it? That's what you got to ask yourself. Was this 20 grand worth it? Where he could have been using his mind, his intelligence, to create something. That same knowledge could have been used for good, and now he could be a millionaire with nobody chasing him. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it is what it is, and we just have got to do better as far as our people are concerned. So I'm encouraging everybody that's listening to this program. Listen, you don't know a lot about the IUL. Okay, fine. You don't. The Roth IRA, you don't want to wait to 59 and a half. Do you have 10 ride or die friends, male or female? Do you have 5 ride or die friends, male or female, that y'all trust? And you want to put some money together and start something? Please do that. Get on here and let us know so we can post your business and support your business. Do that. Matter of fact, we need to start doing that. As a matter of fact, we need to start posting that on here.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I always talk about my juice bar, but anybody that's on here that's got businesses, we certainly want to support you, because we want to put our money where our mouth is. Exactly. So we definitely should. So the alternative. So one of the primary reasons we always talk about is the IUL, which we mentioned. The Roth IRA, which you can use if you're unhealthy, that starts at 59 and a half, that you might be able to pass on and leave to somebody. Certainly, if you're an elderly person and you want to leave some money. The other thing I forgot to mention is that elderly people in the Asian community get very large amounts of insurance on themselves so that they can leave it for their children, and that so that they can create a legacy for their family, which Black people have told me as recently as Friday. I don't want to leave. I don't want them to come up on my death. Black woman. I don't want my children, so I'm leaving them about 20. That'll give them a little bit of money to bury me, and they got about 10 grand to split amongst themselves. Maybe they can buy some stuff. I mean, I don't want them coming up off me.
You gonna be dead. You still being selfish.
Still being selfish. Being selfish.
Now, what can we do to change that kind of mindset with our people? Because I mean, everything we're talking about is amazing, you know what I mean? But if people ain't ready mentally, nothing is gonna work to help them. You know, so Mark, how can we get?
That's a great question to ask. I mean, obviously, share the campaign is the number one answer. You know, and for me, you know, from my standpoint, it's patience and understanding that, you know what, not everyone thinks the way that you do and does what you do, and it's hard for me. You know, I get a little crazy sometimes, and I ain't gonna apologize for it, because you know what, it is what it is, right? But it's I can't change the whole world, right? But I can change someone's world individually, and to me, it just takes patience and just persevering, because if you don't have perseverance, I think that's what's keeping us alive now, is just that perseverance, okay? Just the fact that we just can't give up, even though we don't know what's going to happen. And we don't know how far it's going to go. And we don't know, but you know what? Every week we got to get on this show. Every day, somebody persevere. That's all we can do. And hopefully one day someone is in a position somewhere that can really make an impact. Maybe one day a celebrity or a movie star or a politician or somebody that got some clout or a long reach, you know, can make an impact. But that impact will only come because people like us persevered in our journey, persevered in our education. And we need people to actually support us. I mean, you ain't gotta do what I tell you to do, okay? But share us, okay? Log on to our Zoom and just play it in the damn background. Go on our YouTube channel and just listen. You're gonna hear something that's gonna help you and help others. That's part of that. That's part of that spreading the word, because not everyone knows what to do. Not everyone knows how to do it, but everyone knows something needs to be done, right? So at this point, all we can do is just share what we can and get out there what we can, and hope that what we share hits the right person that really has an impact and reach, and just not take it personal. Because honestly, you know, the people I talk about, I used to be them. I used to be them, right? I ain't hitting a rhino because I'm Jamaican, but I used to be them. But I opened my ears, I closed my mouth, and I used my brain. We all, if we're all in the same classroom, okay, we're all being taught the same information. Okay, it's what happens once you leave the classroom, all right? You get out there in life. What are you going to do now? You're going to keep that information that you heard, and or you're going to change it. So I'm not saying that I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I wasn't. Okay, I wasn't always rich. No, I wasn't. I was broke. I was poor. I had a bad mindset. I had all that. All right. But one day I just had enough of it, and say, if I don't help myself, who's going to help my kids? Who's going to help my family? Who's going to help my mom? Who's going to help my sister? And if you don't have anyone in your life that you want to, help and get better for, think about someone else that you can benefit. I think the word there, Marcus, is perseverance. Perseverance.
And not just perseverance, brother. We also got to, without getting too deep as far as spirituality and all that type of stuff is concerned, I thank God for Trump. And the reason I thank God for Trump is not because I felt like he was a good guy or anything like that. I thank God for Trump because he woke us up.
Yes, he did.
Black people will run around here. We run around here thinking that everything is hunky-dory. We post-racial and all that type of stuff. And then Trump comes and scratches the surface a little bit, and people's true natures pop out. And when people can see what happened to George Floyd and then do a George Floyd challenge on social media. When what's his name? The guy that shot Trayvon Martin. I won't even mention his name, but you know who I'm talking about. When he can go and do autograph signings at places, and people are signing Skittles and Arizona cans for George Zimmerman, whatever his name is. That just woke people up like nothing has changed. And then this Georgia voter law, when these people are like, we want to take away your right to vote here in Georgia, or make it difficult for you to vote here in Georgia, Black people are going, all right, man, nothing has changed. We've tried everything else. Why not try Black unity? We've been screaming at the Nation of Islam for a long time. Hey, man, why don't we come together and do something? Nah, man, I'm gonna still wait on these white people, see what they're gonna do. see if Master's gonna hand me something, you know what I'm saying? And now they're kind of like, look, man, Master ain't handed me nothing. Maybe if I do something like these Asians, like these Jamaicans, like these Haitians, like these Indians, maybe if I team up with my brothers, maybe and sisters, maybe I could do something. So, Patrick, I saw you just took your thing out, brother. What's going on?
Yeah, beautiful words that you said there, Trevor and Isaac. I just when I sit here and I'm part of Fathers and Finances, I just feel privileged to be able to talk in front of this platform like this, because we're bringing the young and the seasoned together, and we're coming together as a group to talk about what the real issue is. At the end of the day, we can blame it on this or that. We just all have to have a decision that we make inside of ourselves. The first thing that we have to do is fix thyself. Everybody on this call today came on because they either are in the process of fixing themselves. Well, I feel like there's nothing that no one can do to say they have arrived. There's always something that you can work on as a person. So with saying that, us as a community, how you help our community, how we, like Marcus asked, how do we do that? We do it by doing it ourselves. We do it ourselves to show people exactly what we're doing. We're already showing you how we can make it happen. I didn't know Trevor 6 months ago, but Trevor's my brother now. I know somebody in Florida that I can drive down, have a nice conversation about. If I come to him with a business plan, I know, and he looks at it and it sounds correct, and it sounds like, all right, I'll make some money off of that. Would Trevor work with me? Hell yeah, he would. Will Isaac do that? Yeah, he would. Will Marcus do that? Yeah. Because the unity what we have in our community, it's not that any person, because when I talk to people in the community, they all say the same thing, just like how we see on this call. But are you man or woman enough to say, hey, I'm gonna take a step of leap of faith and believe in my people and say, hey, y'all gonna go do this, I'm gonna do it so that y'all see that I'm doing it. And then whether you follow suit or not, that's on you, but we're gonna find the people that is gonna follow suit. That's the thing about it. We putting it out there and we're doing a great thing, guys. I mean, I'm just so proud of what we're doing here and being able to talk to these people. Come and get a personal financial strategy. That's the first step. See where you're at. Come talk to Isaac, come talk to Trevor, talk to Marcus, talk to Tanisha. You got all of these great people that's on this call today that can help you, that have those licenses like Trevor spoke about earlier. The Series 6. Ms. Delitha McCrae, she has that, and she's going to make sure that you're putting yourself in the right position. We have the things that you need. You just have to be brave enough to say, I am going to swallow my pride and do something different.
Indeed.
I'm tired. I'm 30 years old, and I'm tired of seeing my people and tired of being in a position where I'm looking like, why is it like this? What are we going to do to fix it? And the first thing that I do is look at myself in the mirror. I wake up in the morning and say, hey, you got to change first. You got to change first. There's no way that somebody on the street going to talk to you or believe in what you're saying if you ain't doing it 10 times better than they could do it. Like, what I'm going to listen to you for? You can't do it. They already believe you can't do it. Your belief got to be so strong that somebody that don't even know you believe you.
Indeed.
Y'all know why Trevor got his following? Because Trevor believes so much in himself. Can't nobody that come in his vicinity, no matter what their background is, whatever they're doing, whatever they've done, can't tell Trevor what he's doing isn't correct and how he's doing it, because he made his plan for his life and he's living that dream. And that's why they come and listen.
That's right.
Thank you, sir.
That's what the real is.
Actual
so
facts.
When you come on this call, it's not just to hear a little bit and say, oh, that was some good information. That's some good information. You may not even be in a position that we're talking about right now, but find out what your position is so that you can move up to that place.
Indeed.
So I get it's the paradigm shift, Trev. You know what I'm saying? It's the paradigm shift. It's the mindset.
You're gonna feel it.
Mindset. It's crazy because it's like the mindset. You have to decide, like what Chip said. You have to literally decide. This is what I'm going to do, because you're gonna fail. Fail forward. By failing, you learn something new to not do, and you teach the person behind you so they don't make that same mistake. We send people get to the top and they didn't trip 15 times. They don't tell the next person that's doing the same journey that person tripped 40 times before they get to the same spot. And some people don't even get there because they didn't quit, because they didn't fail so many times. We got to make a way. We got to make that journey happen and teach the people behind us that's follow. That's what we doing right now. So y'all seeing it in visual. Y'all seeing it right now.
Well, all right, guys, we have to cut it. Well, we're right at an hour, but we have to cut it short. Sometimes we go a little over, but we've got a meeting that we've got to attend right after this. So there is the personal financial strategy that Patrick just mentioned. It is in the chat box right now. Please feel free to go in there and click on it, and either myself, Trevor, Patrick, or Marcus will get with you, or Tanisha, and we'll be more than happy to assist you with your personal financial strategy. Also, it will be posted in the link, if not already, on the YouTube Live. So again, I'm Isaac Crumbly. Guys, did you want to say anything before we broke out?
I'm Trevor Evans.
It's free.
It's free.
Yeah, and take action. That's it.
Yo, peace.
Hey, and stop buying the rhinos at the damn gas station.
Because you're killing yourself.
Go drink y'all damn some ginseng, some Irish moss. Go drink some
water.
Yes, go drink, yes.
Eat some
Drink some water. All right, guys. See y'all next week.